The day my son came home from university, I began dreaming of him getting married. He was my first. Every mother knows what it's like when your kids get to that age. You want to see them settle down, have grandchildren. I told my son when he came back, I want to find a nice girl for you. What do you think? He told me, Mom, it's a waste of time. I don't have a job. I don't even know what I want to do with my life. He thought he had nothing to offer, my son. My brother and his new wife came to visit for a few days. On their last night, I took them to visit an old friend suffering from cancer. The doctor said he didn't have much time left. I told my son, we're going to visit your Jubair uncle. I've left your dinner on the table. Don't go out without eating something. The next day, he still wasn't back, and I thought, oh Lord, what am I going to tell my sister-in-law? What is she going to think? Why did he have to do this today? The kids all woke up late and missed their bus. I yelled at all of them and told them to get in the car! I don't know what came over me, but the kids all being late, having to take them to school, my son still not being back after being out all night, my brother and sister-in-law getting ready to leave, la. I couldn't focus on the road. Somehow I dropped the kids off and came home, not focusing. La. Around 10 a.m. I came home, and as soon as I turned onto our street, my heart stopped. There was a police car parked outside my house. You know what was my first thought? My son. Oh my God. Did he hurt someone? Is he in jail? What are they doing here? La. I jumped out of the car and knocked on the door, and before my brother opened it, he held me and said, Appa, whatever happens, whatever they tell you, pray 2 rakats. You have to be patient. You have to accept it. Saiful, let me inside. Where is my son? I walked in to find my niece, my sister-in-law, and 2 policemen in my living room. My husband was at work. They asked me to take a seat. I would not. They said, Madam, are you Shahryar's mother? Yes, I'm his mother. Where is he? Did he hurt someone? They looked at each other. They were so kind, soft-spoken. Madam, your son is in the hospital. He's in the hospital? Is he all right? They looked at me with soft eyes, and then the older one said, No, madam, I'm sorry. Then he looked down. He didn't make it. He didn't make it. I prayed 2 rakats. I don't remember the entire month that followed very well. It was the month the lychee tree branches hung heavy with fruit for the first and last time. My daughter tells me there were many guests, hundreds. Not a day went by when the house was not overflowing with people. Not a day went by when there was not a feast. There was the moment I heard her calling my name when she came home a few hours later after her father's friends had picked her up from school. Where is my mother? She thought something had happened to me. No one had the heart to tell her, but 100 eyes followed her as she looked for me. She came into the women's room and found me sitting on a sofa, surrounded by women, sitting quietly. She came close and fell to her knees. Mum. Must have been a strange thing. She said I smiled at her and said, Today is such a good day. Mum, didn't you hear the news? Mum, today is your brother's wedding day. I don't remember the month very well, but by the end, all the lychee fruit was gone. Don't let anyone leave without having eaten something. I've always told my children. That day I told them, God has laid out feasts for your brother's wedding. At some point, a young woman with short blonde hair walked in and asked to see the mother of the house. She passed through the men's room, came into the women's room, and her eyes filled with tears. She hugged me. I know what it's like, sweetheart. I know. I lost a son too. We're sisters. I can't remember who came in. I was told there were hundreds and hundreds of guests. Many of the men went to the mosque, and there was so much food. Much of it was sent to the mosque with the men. I was told that there was no one who came to visit who did not eat. You know how a bird quickly swoops to pick food up off the ground? My son was like that. No sooner was he on the ground than the birds quickly plucked him up. And yet, no one has seen a wedding feast like this one.